Hi everyone, we're live here now. Say hi everybody.
Hi.
I'm here with a beautiful, gorgeous new puppy dog. Who cares about the other people? Oh my God. What is his or her name?
We can't leave him alone or he cries. So.
Very loudly, so we've decided that we have to bring him in and
show him to the world.
He should go to sleep properly.
Quite cute. Anyway, I am here with a beautiful new puppy dog and also with Dee and Steve Moore from More Beautiful and also B.O.S.S Bring On Salon Success. Both these lovely, they're a married couple. They will be introducing themselves in a minute. But I just wanted to let you know that I've known Dee for good, probably almost 3 years now. We actually met at a business retreat in Bali. Very strangely. She started her little home salon and now she's got this big Darwin empire, is the best and the most expensive and most sought after lash salon up in Darwin. And I thought it would be amazing to do these little live videos a bit more on a regular basis, just to bring you guys in, because you have been extremely amazing at growing your business and you have so many great little tips and tricks that I think our audience would be just so blessed to have shared with them. I just want to pat it like, let me just quickly check before anything else if we are showing up, because I can't see anyone. Oh no, there's 3 viewers. Guys, can you let me know if you can hear and see us okay? I can only see on Be Live that there is a comment from Facebook, but I can't see names, so I'm just going to have to log in here. Oh, cool. There is definitely a few people showing now. Wait. Where is it? Can you guys see the video? Have you got an iPad or
yeah, so we've got the laptop set up, and then we've also got our big TV set up so we can see you on that one. Nice and easy.
That's awesome. All organized. Cool. So I actually asked these guys to come on with me in Lash Tribe to help out a little bit and to share some of their business wisdom, because they, like I said, they've built a really, really strong brand and now they're helping others to do the same. You can see me. Woo-hoo. Can you hear me? You can hear us as well. I hope you can. So without any further ado, I think it would be great, because I would like to have the topic be something like why you should start your own lash salon. Like what is it about? Is it lucrative? How do you get started? Maybe later on we can talk about that as well. But how did you start? Just to introduce yourself a little bit and all the achievements you've just had over the last 3 or 4 years. Where did you come from? Who are you?
No, I'm kidding. I'll let you start first if you want to.
Well,
your background.
Where did it start? Well, I guess the business more so. We fell into it. I was working away, doing construction work. I get a phone call at about 9 o'clock at night from Dee saying, "Oh, look, I want to buy this business." I said, "Well, go for it. You know, you're doing your beauty therapy diploma. Go for it. Yeah. Just whatever you want to do." Unfortunately, that one fell through very, very quickly. But from there, Dee straight away had the knack for it and just goes, "You know what? I want to keep doing this." And me being me, I'm like, "Yeah, whatever you want to do. Let's just go for it." And she was starting to build a name for herself in Brisbane, and it was getting bigger and bigger. And then I drop a bit of a bombshell and I say, "Well, I've sort of got a job in Darwin. I can either go back to doing fly in, fly out, and I'm away for 4 weeks, or I've got the opportunity to move up there." And Dee sort of goes, "Well, you've got 2 options. You either don't take the job or we're packing the house." So we said, "All right, well, let's pack the house. We've spent all of our life in Brisbane. It's time for a change. So let's give it a crack." We got up
there. That wasn't it? Because I was there like watching it all happening and it was like, oh my God, I've just built this amazing business. How can I do all of that in Darwin?
Like, again, yeah. And it was hard. We started. Well, Dee had a job, I think, before we even got up here. She was already offered a job. Then we moved the business into the back of that beauty therapy place. And then the rents went up, as they do around Darwin. And she goes, look, I don't want to continue that anymore. And we're like, okay, well, what do we do? All right, well, let's go from home. And home was doing awesome. Dee was rocking it out. And then it started to turn into 16-hour days. And then it started to turn into knocks on the door at 10 o'clock at night going, I was hoping you could fit me in for a set of lashes. And at this stage, like, I'd been at work for 14 hours, tired in the sun, and I'm like, what's going on? Why are people knocking on our front door?
Because we're that good. Just to say.
I'm kidding. And then, so we got to the stage, all right, it's time, we need to move out. Like, I don't want randoms just knocking on the door at 10 o'clock at night. So we found another place to move into, and it was renting with another couple of businesses, and again, they put the rent up, and one of the other tenancies didn't want to stay there, and Dee got really upset, and 100%, I can't blame her for it. And I said, look, well, what do we want to do? And she goes, well, we can't bring it back home. I said, no, there's no chance. By that stage, we already had one employee. I said, look, we can't feasibly put it back in the house. We've got an employee, it's our house. We can't separate work from home, and it was causing, like mental health issues. And I said, all right, well, what's for rent around the places and commercial premises? Let's stop relying on other people, and let's turn this into something that we can call our own, and the only people that we have to rely on are ourselves. And I think within about a week, we had a premises, the design was drawn up, and I think we were moving in within about 2 weeks. And
so at that stage, did you get involved properly at that stage, or were you still with your old job then?
No, for me, I've only been involved in about the last 18 months. So I finished up this construction job up here 18 months ago. Yeah, it would have been pretty close to it, yeah. And at that stage, I think we had 4 employees plus a receptionist, and you were still on the tools.
Yeah.
And a couple of things had happened, and I was sort of in and out. I was always in and out of the business. Like, Dee would come and see me about, what do you think about this idea, or am I charging this right? How should I be charging this? Factual person I am.
I think at that point we sort of worked out that I was very emotional, and Steve was very factual, and it would be quite handy to have both of those things in the business.
Someone to offset the. Someone that could be factual with the information that came through, and that's sort of where I sort of made my own job, I guess, within the business. And then, it just sort of snowballed, I guess, really. It just kept growing and growing and growing, and then we had growing pains, like I guess everyone does, and we are here now. Still got some hair left on my head, and I'm trying to replace it on my chin.
I just found it so fascinating to watch you grow from this home salon in Brisbane to where you just literally fell into. Why do you think it was so successful, and why do you think people should actually look at actually starting a lash business? Because there's so many businesses around now, so many lash businesses. Why do you think it's still lucrative?
I would say, and this is one of the main reasons I wanted to talk about this topic as well, is the real why, the why behind wanting to do extensions. It's simply, there's enough people at the moment, and just in general out there doing extensions, and people say to me, oh, Dee, your next step should be training, or your next step should be a product line, or, something like that. That's not necessarily true. You have to have a really good why behind there. If I was to start some training up or something like that for lash extensions, why am I doing it? What do I have to offer that the wonderful Julia Mann can't offer, or Frankie Widows, or Joy Crossingham, or I need to have something that I can do better than them, or differently than them, or deliver it differently than them. Otherwise, there's no point. You're just being a cookie cutter then, or same with product lines. What can I do better in my lash trays that I'm, sending out there, or my adhesives that I'm sending out there? If I can't do it better, well, I'm sorry, I personally don't think there's a point. So if it's coming down to starting your own lash business, like your own lash salon, you need to find out what your why is. Why do you think or what is the gap in the market, or what is the niche that you are going to be able to fill. When we first started, like Steve said, we bought a business that actually didn't exist. So we'd spent all this money and found out that we'd actually bought thin air. So we weren't off to the great start with our business either. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And at that point, we could have just said, okay, moving on to the next thing. But I had a why there, and I thought that there was something that I could offer that other places that I'd been to or seen advertised weren't offering. And that's where the whole sort of our business name originally came from, was More Beautiful. We believe that everyone is beautiful in their own right, but we can make you more beautiful. Yes, it's quite vain, lash extensions, teeth whitening, spray tanning, all that type of stuff, but it still makes you feel something. So I fell in love with that, making clients feel something. So if you're bringing something new to the industry, you should definitely start it up, because through the hard times, the buying businesses that don't exist, places closing down around you, forcing you to move back home.
It's the trial and error as well. Like the amount of money we've put into research and development, trying new tweezers, trying different trays of lashes. Wow, I think I can start.
I'm pretty sure that Julia's tried a lot more than us. But you have to have a passion there. If you don't have a passion there, you're not going to care about what lashes you use, what tweezers you use, how your client feels, if they have a reaction, if their lashes are staying on. You're not going to give a shit about that. So it's important to have that behind you.
For us, a big thing for us, the reason why, was the customer service level. Obviously, we'd spent by that stage, probably 3 months in Darwin, and we found that customer service up here was woeful. It was probably one of the hardest things, and that, I guess, spurred us on as well. So I've got over 8 years in data entry call centres. Dee, you've got about 8 years as well. So customer service was something that we were always brought up with, something that we were, as much as we didn't always enjoy it, it was something that was really passionate to us, because we knew that we could provide a service to someone else to the extent that we wanted to, and that we knew that that person deserved. So for us, that was a really big why. And then obviously you had your lash extension course as well. So that was something else that you wanted to bring up to Darwin, because it wasn't a big thing up here at the time. So for us, that was our sort of why, I guess.
Yeah. And what do you do decide when you moved to Darwin? Obviously, you started in Brisbane, it took off. Did you do exactly the same strategy?
Well, we couldn't really do the same because Steve knew very little people up here and I knew no one. So I couldn't really rely on friends and word of mouth and things like that. And family, people to practice on and things like that. So I did need to get people through as best I could. And I honestly found that I don't do it now, and I don't recommend you doing it if you're an established business. But if you are starting out, your buy, swap and sell sites on Facebook are a really good tool that you can use. And I'm sure that Julia will agree with me when I say, please remember to tell everyone that they are your training rates and that they will be going up. Don't let them know that you're going to be doing $50 sets of lashes all the time. These are my training rates, and cap it. 10 people get it at this price, and then the next 10 people get it at $20 more, and then the next people $20 more. That's how I did it with mine. But I also very highly believe in start how you mean to go on. Don't just pluck those numbers out of the sky. Julia and I know very well that you can be working many, many years and not know that you're not actually making any money. So start properly and know your numbers. Have a Steve in your life that knows your numbers, and work it out so you are actually getting paid minimum wage and you're covering your product. And even if you're only making like $1 or $2 profit, at least you're getting paid, which is really important.
Yeah. We've got a couple of questions. One is lash related. I think we might answer that a little bit later, because we're just talking about the business and the starting up and why we should be doing it. Zavi is asking, when you first started the business, how did you promote yourself? So apart from the buy, swap, sell pages, once you started to get a little bit of traction from it and you started raising your prices, what other tools or methods did you use to get more clientele? And do you think that the customer service was probably one of the biggest part? I know I already answered, but you know.
Thanks for the answer, Julia. No.
Yeah.
Look, the word of mouth started spreading because people were getting treated differently to what they were used to. So that was a big help. Once you got your first couple of people through the door, they're like, oh, okay, this is really different. This is not what I'm used to, and the quality of work that was coming out was not what they were used to as well. I was going to say the big thing was though having coaches like business coaches that go through your Facebook, showing you how to use your Facebook marketing. Facebook's been one of our biggest tools and one of our biggest streams of revenue, purely because people can relate to you. They can see who you are. They can see your day-to-day life. They can see that you've got an 8-week-old puppy sitting in your lap because you can't leave him. That's how oh, sorry. He was sleeping, but he's my
camera.
He's my
and likes. He's so cute. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's true.
So what I would say in regards to that as well is, so coach is really important. We started off, start how you mean to go on. That's always been our motto with More Beautiful and with any business that we start, is we want to start how you mean to go on. I had someone straight away, yes, it was a big outlay in the beginning, but I had someone do our website straight away. The website looked that good that some people, when they rocked up to the home, went, oh, sorry, I thought I was rocking up to some huge, massive salon. Yep. Yeah. And I was like, oh, no, they were really happy. So when they walked in, I was always in uniform. Even if I was at home, I was always in my full tunic. I had More Beautiful written on there. I had D written on there. My makeup was done. My hair was done. Shoes were on. We did have a different dog at the time. He was always put out the back. We had a room that was right at the front of the house, so no one had to walk through anything unless they said they needed to go to the bathroom, and that would annoy the crap out of me. That's okay.
The bathroom was always spotless.
So pretend that you are the big, multi-person salon. And wear your uniform. And when you're talking online, say we, even though it's just you. Say, we had so-and-so in today and she was amazing. Make yourself appear, fake it till you make it, basically. And as long as you are real in all your posts, I put up a lot of controversial posts on my page that some people don't like, including my husband. But I feel that if people don't like it, then they don't like it, and that's fine, and they're not my people. So I think as soon as you realise that as well, and that's why your why is so important, your why will help you determine who your people are and how best it is to advertise. We haven't really tried any other, we tried local search. Yeah. That was terrible for us. Mm-hmm. We were going to do TV advertising because it's not too expensive up here in Darwin. It's expensive, but it's not, out of reach. But we really feel that we could better utilise that towards Facebook ads and targeting, really targeting Facebook ads.
And Instagram as well now.
And Instagram now as well.
To take off for us as
well.
So
that would be the main thing I could do. I'm sure Julia has some fantastic courses on branding and marketing and things like that. And we can also put you in touch with another few people that we both used when we were first starting off.
And we still bounce off them as well now.
And we still
You don't ever leave your coaches or the people that you've mentored and worked peer-to-peer with. They're always there, and the friends that you've made, like you've made friends from 4 years ago from one of your very first business courses, and you still bounce ideas off of them now. Yeah. So even just your people that you find in Lash Tribe, like bouncing ideas off of other people that own salons that have nothing to do with you, it's great because you can all feed off of each other.
Don't be scared of other salons.
That's right.
They should be there to help you. And look how many hairdressers are around. My hairdresser is literally above another hairdresser, and they're both fine.
Julia, it's okay. It's okay, Julia.
But you know what I mean? Like, they're fine. You go to shopping centres. In shopping centres, there's like 3 or 4 different types of hairdressers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you are your niche, and you've got your niche and you know your clientele, then those people are going to go wherever they want to go, and your people will come to you. So that's really important. So the more people you can bounce ideas off, don't see them as your competition. See them as your supportive network, because lashing, like Kelly said, in Hollywood can be so isolating and can be so lonely and scary that you need people that understand what you're going through, and who better than your lash brothers and sisters?
Well, that's right. And as well, if you don't mind. We were just mentioning Hollywood. So Hollywood Lash Conference was just a couple of weeks ago in LA, obviously. I was one of the speakers, and that's actually some of the things that you just said is fake it till you make it. I call it the credibility factor. It was my number one in the presentation. I don't know whether you remember or not, because the first thing that people will see is your branding. And it doesn't matter if you're at home, if you have a chain of salons, if you have salons all over the world. The branding is what brings people in, because that's what interests them. If your services, your personality, the inside of your salon and everything doesn't match your branding, they will maybe come once, but they won't return again. So make sure that you don't just think your branding is amazing and everything else doesn't matter. Everything else is much more important, but without the branding and the marketing, they won't even come.
That's your first impression, right? If, you know, and first impressions count as much as it does suck, and they say don't judge a book by its cover. In the beauty industry and in the lashing world, everyone is judging everything. So only put your best out there.
Yeah, that's right. And whether you're starting a home salon or you want to start a salon straight away, I don't think you should make much of a difference. I mean, people will see it the first time they come in, whether they like it or not is up to them. You know, but I had a home salon for many years. I think I only moved out of here like a year ago because I needed a bigger to train and coach, because I was renting out other spaces. But I had clients still here until like a year, like 12 to 18 months ago. And it cost a lot of money to renovate. The website was amazing. And every time people came in, they were like, oh, wow, this looks exactly like the pictures, but it's like your house. I'm like, I know. Come to like it because it was very personable and not busy, and yeah. So that's a plus as well. If you're starting from home.
And I would say as well, that doesn't mean that you can't change either. Steve and I, at the moment, More Beautiful is going through a bit of a revamp, because when we started, we were we were like every lash or beauty place starts. We were very girly and we were very flowy and all this type of stuff. And now 5 years in, we are changing a little bit, and we're noticing that our clientele are a little bit different. The way we market and target is a little bit different. Our salon is different. So we're rebranding. So just because you start first of all, doesn't mean that's going to be your finishing point. Start how you meant to go on, so do everything properly, but you can still change along the way. It's not a problem.
Yeah. And you'll find that as your business grows, as your business grows, your goals, your clients, your everything where you started from will have changed. So you need to change with the times. Like Dick was saying, 5 years ago, we were running out of a house, not, you know.
And I was doing waxing and facials and microdermabrasion and all this other stuff. Yeah, now it's just lashes and brows. And
teeth whitening and spray tan. Don't forget me.
That is very similar to how I started, because I started offering everything. I had a shitload of product. I had so much inventory and I had a lot of costs. That's because I was trying to do everything, but it turned out to be a very bad idea. So it's very similar, actually. Joining us now, I just want to reintroduce you quickly, because there's always people jumping on and off. I'm here with Dee and Steve Moore from More Beautiful, and also B.O.S.S, Bring On Salon Success. These two are amazing. Actually, I didn't even tell anyone about your achievements and awards and nominations. So I just want to tell everyone quickly what you have achieved. No, don't go like that, because that's very important. That's the credibility.
So at the beginning of the year, in May,
before that, April.
Was that April?
April, okay.
See, this is why he's the numbers guy. So at the beginning of the year in April, we won Australian Small Business Championship Awards in beauty services. There was over 2,200 applicants in that, so that was amazing and massive, and that was in Sydney that we went to. Very exciting. And then we flew over to Canada for the Nyla Awards, and we took out Lash Studio of the Year as well. So really over the moon, excited, so happy with that. And we are attending the Australian Beauty Industry Awards now at the end of August, because we've made finalists for Beauty Salon of the Year, 5 treatment rooms or more for WA Northern Territory. So yeah, really exciting. And we've been on the local news up here. We've been on Channel 9 News up here and on the radio up here. We're coming out in a magazine soon up here as well. So lots of fun things now. We're teaming up with the amazing Julia, and she's helping us with a few more things as well. So I was a speaker last year at Lash Vision as well. So lots of fun stuff, and hoping to do some more speaking next year and the end of this year as well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to have you back on a more regular basis, because you have built such a great team, not just the salon, but the team of people behind you. And I think there's so much wisdom that you can actually share with us. I'm just going to have a look what the question was. There was like one lash related question, but I don't want to ignore it. If you don't mind answering it.
Oh, go for it.
And now I can't see the name. I think it was Surly. She asked, do you patch test all clients?
No. We don't. We patch test upon request. We patch test for lash lifts, anyone that is pregnant, breastfeeding, anyone that may have had a reaction previously, or sensitivities or anything like that. I don't necessarily believe in patch testing for extensions. You can't test on the skin, so you can't test like you would your lift solutions and your tinting solutions and things like that. And I don't feel that simply putting 10 lashes on one side is going to expose the client to enough cyanoacrylate to actually give them a reaction if they're going to have one. So I normally say to our clients and ones that have never had them either with us or had extensions before at all, we say to them, your first set with us is your patch test, because that's a full set. You're going to be exposed for the longest amount of time, and we will go from there. If they are a bride or someone that has a very big event coming up, or a hens or a photo shoot or things like that, we will not do the lash extensions unless they've previously had them with us or they have a trial set, because I don't need a bride calling me up on her wedding day letting me know that her face is blown up. Don't want that in my life.
No, personally, I agree with that. I actually have a form where people waive it. That doesn't mean that it's a legal document, because people can still sue you if they wanted to. But I actually call it an allergy test now. I used to call it patch test, but patch testing is so well known as to, like, you apply it on the skin here or behind the ear, and we should not do that, of course. And like you said, it's not a guarantee that people won't react. But the thing is, you need to check with your insurance. That is the big thing. It's not so much that you need to patch test because of the client, it is because of the insurance. A lot of insurances require patch testing for a particular adhesive, and if you're changing the adhesive, theoretically you have to patch test again. So that is the only thing I will say. This is not legal advice by any means or any advice on it, but yeah I have to mention that.
So
check with
we actually have quite a it's not close that I call them every week, but we probably call our insurance at least once every 1 to 2 months, just because of confirmations, making sure that what we're doing, how we're providing our services, the treatments, how we deal with our clients, are all actually covered by insurance. There is one thing that I will mention that insurance companies may say, because I know ours does, say that you do not require a patch test. However, there is a slight little loophole that I will let you all in on, is that if the manufacturer's specifications, so if the bottle or the manufacturer, whoever's supplied the product, says that you should patch test, you should patch test. So although the insurance company says you don't need to, make sure that the manufacturer specification also says that. Otherwise, you are required
They
to patch
say
test.
they don't need to, but the manufacturer needs you to.
Yes.
So that's how they're getting out of it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
be really careful with that one.
So is that just on the bottle or is that on the SDS sheet?
That one would be on. It should be on the SDS sheet as well.
Yeah.
It may, or I can't confirm whether it would be on the bottle. I won't say the product that I was calling in relation to.
We were calling in regards to lash lift stuff, and they need to look onto the if the manufacturer requires you to, then yes. If you're unsure, contact whoever your distributor is, or if you get the stuff from Julia, ask her. If you get the stuff from wherever you get it from, if you're unsure, ask them, and they should be able to provide you a document from the supplier and say whether you do need or don't need to.
Yep.
Very good, very good. We don't have any more questions. Is there anything that you guys want to add as in why you should be starting a lash salon? Maybe some numbers, maybe a breakdown of things?
Don't start if you think the numbers are good, first of all. Especially in the beginning if you don't know your numbers and then it all turns out pear-shaped.
Undercharging. I think that would be great to cover just quickly before I let you go, because this was more so an introduction, because I think I would like you to come on again and always talk about like the specific topic and kind of evolve.
Sure, happy to.
So I think, do you want to say
Numbers.
the why it's important to know your numbers and what type of you're the numbers guy?
Okay. So when it comes to numbers, so again, I'll lead with a story because I'm good with stories. I'd come home, once again, we're up here in Darwin. Dee was working out of the front room. She'd been working for 16 hours, apart from the times that she'd pretty much just be exhausted. It was getting to the stage where she'd walk out of the room and she'd still be crying. She's like, I've paid for my trays, I've paid for my glue, I've paid for this, I've paid for that, and I don't have any money. I said, what do you mean you don't have? You're working 12, 16 hours a day. You're, you've got all your products. How do you not have any money? And she goes, I don't know. I said, all right, let's get to the bottom of this. So
someone just asked right now, how funny. Someone says, you mentioned that for a while you weren't actually making an income. How did you grow and recover from it? There you go.
Wow.
Know your numbers.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't hide like me and Julia did. Don't hide because they're still going to be there.
The numbers don't. So Mr. Factual over here, after a couple of weeks, was able to put something together and say, look, you're charging, I don't even remember what you were charging that time, and I don't think it really matters, but she was making like $1 on a set. Like a full set of lash extensions, and I've just gone, well, this is why it's not working. Yes, you don't have overheads. Yes, yes, you can afford to have everything, but you're not paying yourself a wage. And then when she was paying herself a wage, it would be like $25 a week, and it didn't equate to the amount of hours that she was putting in. So, Jackie, I guess the way that you come out of that one is you need to know your numbers and you need to price accordingly.
And if you do that from the beginning, it's a lot easier. If you don't, however, and you have to claw your way back up like we did.
And still doing.
Yeah.
And still doing.
The fact is you need to know those numbers, know how they work, why they work that way, and then add on top of that. You're not going to go from, say you're charging $79 for a set of lashes and you work out you need to make $120 to even, on a set of lashes, to even pay yourself and make like $5 profit or something like that. Yeah. You can't do that in one step. No. You need to gradually do that, slowly. Our first jump, I think, was about $20, but that was for new sets, so that was only for new people coming in. Our infills we went very slowly with. We went very slowly by just, $4 to $5, $2 here, $1 there, and very slowly with those because they're regulars and they're coming back often and they kind of got used to that price. So it's a lot easier to change your full set prices or your first time brows or your things like that than it is to change your infills. Just be nice to those clients, that have supported you. And once you know the numbers, that's when you can fix them. You can either start finding different places to source your products from, or you can speak to the person that you're buying your products from and go, okay, if I buy 1,000 lash trays off you every 6 months, can you give me a little bit of a better deal? They might be able to do something for you. Or your glues, or your, your disposables and things like that. How can you better utilize those? And make sure when you're spending your money on advertising, especially, that you're tracking it somehow. Otherwise, you could just be throwing money down the drain. So if you've got, your signage on the back of a bus somewhere, do you actually have a way to track that and find out if that's bringing you money in, or are you just spending money and, hemorrhaging money with that?
Yeah, I can add another couple of things. What I did, I said my overheads were too high because I had too many different products and I was offering too many services, and I didn't really understand which service made the most money. And I just took people whenever they came in, and I tried to do a really good deal, which obviously I did for them, but not for me. So I stopped a lot of the services, which means all my products that I had, they're sitting there for $3,000-4,000 worth. They all went. I sold them to someone else, and I just started raising my prices. And what else did I do? I raised my price. I got rid of all of the services pretty much, but lashes and eyebrows. That's all I did. Quite simple.
Yeah.
And obviously I went through all of the steps that you guys said. I needed to work out how much is my phone costing me, Facebook ads costing me, my products. Yeah, I also changed my supplier. I actually did a course with someone where you could get then 20% off all the products for life. And I wanted to do another course anyway, so that's what I did. And now back in the day, I had like 20% off all the products, because I used to order my lashes from the UK, and that was very, very expensive. Same vice versa. If you are in the UK, you order from here, it's quite expensive to ship. So yeah, little things like that. Just finding someone maybe a little bit closer to you, and seeing if they offer discounts and things like that. So yeah, it's really not that difficult, Business
as long as you know your numbers, it's not that difficult. You can instantly, like Steve instantly worked out, Dee, this is your most profitable treatment, and yet you're doing it the least. Like, you're not promoting that on Facebook. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, how about I promote it on Facebook then? And what I've also learned as well is try not to discount as much as you possibly can, because you will attract the wrong type of people. Discounting is just the fastest way to the bottom. Do it for like birthdays and stuff like that, maybe, little birthday vouchers, things like that. The thing that, and Julia will tell you this as well, adding value. If you can add some kind of perceived value, the clients are going to think that they're getting all that money's worth, and it's very minimal to you. Like, you could say, I'm doing a lip mask, a head massage, a hand massage, and some eye cream. That's perceived value. Oh my God, like, I'm getting all this stuff free. You're putting on the eye cream while their lashes are drying. After you do their cleanse, you're giving them a head massage. The lip mask is to make them be quiet anyway, so it's fine. We got some really great hydrating lip gloss that we put on after the lip balm, after the lip mask. So it's all these little things that you do, and they're like, oh, this is like really special. And that's why, I go to this place and they charge $150, not $100 like the other place. So perceived value or add-ons. If you can say, I'll do your lashes and you get an add-on for a $1 brow tidy. They're like, oh my God, a $1 brow tidy, and they've never been to you before or had brows from you before, but it's kind of like a gateway drug. They're like, oh yeah, this is great. I haven't had brows done with you before. Oh my God, I love how she does my brows. I can get my brows and my lashes done here at the same time. Yes, can you book me in for that next time as well? Because face it, a brow tidy doesn't take that long. You're not doing a full sculpt or anything like that. Just a quick little brow tidy, and you go, look, it's just an extra $1 for you today. And I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. So anything you can do like that is better.
Maybe not the best idea. Jody just says, I love hearing you speak, Dee. Always so honest and upfront. Great info, especially for the newbies. Isn't she just amazing?
Thanks, Jody. That's something that you'll always get with Steve and I. We'll probably even fight on camera at some point. I'm sure of it.
But now too.
We are really honest. We are really real. You can ask us anything you like and we will give you the answer to, other than our bank account details, unless you want to transfer us money in. That would be amazing. But we are very honest. We have had a rocky start, or a rocky business road, if you want to call it. We have been off-roading.
Oh, we've
been off-roading.
Yeah, we've lost tyres, wheels.
We've lost tyres and wheels and axles and all this fun stuff. But we're still here and we're doing really, really well. So any information that we can give anyone to stop them having to go through those heartaches and those mistakes and those fights and those...
Or just to make the stressful times easier. We've done it. We've not gone the easiest routes at all.
No.
My beautiful wife loves finding the off-road tracks, but we've done it. If we can help someone, even if it's one person, just to not make, not even the mistake, but the learning adventure that we took, that was not the easiest of ways.
To save you some money.
Yeah, money. We're more happy to help. It's just...
We're waiting for like, you don't have to pay in the Lash industry, you've got us.
Yeah.
And group.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And anyone who's joining us now, let us know in the comments what sort of topic you would like Dee and Steve, and maybe myself if I'm available, to talk about next time, because we are planning on having these lovely guys over a little bit more often to do a little bit of a, I guess, like a maybe, what is it, weekly or fortnightly? What did we say?
We can do
whatever
anything.
you want. Sunday night's good for us.
Yeah, we can do anything. We're happy. Whenever anyone needs us, we'll be there. We're like a baby.
Maybe something that has a bit of a theme, like a topic, so everyone can prepare themselves and have some awesome questions. Sweet. Well, Cheryl just says, in the process of revamping my business, great info. Thank you for sharing.
I would love to see your before and after, Cheryl. If you have your before logo and your after logo, I will happily give mine to Julia once mine's all finished, but I'll love to see your before and afters to see how they're looking.
Yeah, I think we'll post them all through. We'll do a before and after in Lash Tribe. Yeah. We'll start.
So you can see what ours was, and you're like, wow, they really changed.
Decorating.
Salon decorating. Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, no, that's an expensive topic.
In the world. Hi, Loretta.
Hey, Loretta.
Hey, Loretta.
Miss you.
I miss you. Everyone's coming on live now. But we have to go now. Unfortunately, it's getting late. I have to go nights. You guys can stay on if you want.
Apparently.
Yeah, I think someone needs to go outside.
You need to go to the toilet. Awesome. Well, thank you in the comments below what you want Dee and Steve to talk about next time. And don't forget to get in contact with them as well. They'd be happily answering questions throughout the week underneath this comment, underneath this post, or even if you want to do up a new post and tag them, Dee Moore, Steve Moore, Moore. I'm sure you guys will be happy to answer any questions that may come through.
Yeah, anything.
I'll be floating around in the group a little bit as well, so answering any business questions and stuff like that. So if you have any, I will try to find those as well and answer as many. Oh, and Steve as well, if there's any accounting-y, numbery, factually type.
I will be tagging Steve all week.
Thank you so much for having us.
Have a good night or good morning wherever you are in the world. Thanks. Bye.
Good night.